Radical.
There are a lot of stories in the NBA, specifically the fact that Russell Westbrook has opted into his contract, and I think he's making more than LeBron James right now. Yeah, that's nuts. Speaking of the Lakers, that's been named as one possible landing spot by a lot of people in the media that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving might be going to. But don't believe the hype. What happens is the media just want to see Kyrie, Durant, and LeBron together so they can just cover basically like one team. That's what they want to happen. So Durant has requested a trade officially from the Brooklyn Nets. Apparently he went right up to the owner and just made that request. Here's the thing though. He's got 4 years left on his contract. This is the first time we've ever had a star on the level of Kevin Durant with 4 years left on their contract. I mean, we're talking about a top 5, top 10 player currently in the NBA requesting his way out of the Brooklyn Nets. 3 years ago, 3 years ago, Kyrie and Durant went to the Brooklyn Nets. And basically they ran things. They even said that they didn't really need a coach. Well, you see how that worked out. A lot of people are saying how it was just pure misery. They always had question marks. They just couldn't get on the same page. You compare that to a team like the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors run like an efficient machine. It's not just a talent they have there. Everything runs like a perfect machine. The opposite can be said about the Nets. But here's a funny thing. The people making the bets, they actually bet on the Nets to get into the finals next year. I think they need to adjust that right now. Durant wants out. And some people might say he's got 4 years left on his contract. How is he able to do that? Well, he can't force his way out. No, it's actually the NBA. You saw Harden, he forced his way out of Houston, then forced his way... Players, the star players, basically the way it's set up, they don't have a lot of repercussions, and maybe the NBA will change this soon. But right now, currently, star players, if they want to, they can just go up to management and they can try to force their way out of a deal. Now, in the instance of Kevin Durant, once news spread about this, teams couldn't call them quick enough. Basically, you got like half the teams in the NBA giving calls to the Brooklyn Nets with some offers. And some teams actually called back to amend and update their offers and add more in star players, more in picks. I'm thinking to myself, okay, Kevin Durant is a star player, the Slim Reaper, all right? If he's on your team, even if it's not that great of a team, you got some kind of a shot. You do. He's not the kind of player that's going to make you, he's not a Giannis. If you add Giannis to any team, then they have a possibility. But still, the man's talents cannot be understated. Kyrie's a talented guy, but where's their head at? I think Kevin Durant, he was distracted being with the Nets. I think Kyrie was a distraction. I think Harden was a distraction. I think there's just too many distractions, too many things going on for them to be a championship contender. You just can't sprinkle in a lot of stars with this organization and expect a championship. You can't expect that. But a lot of people did, just on the pure star power. Now, they could have ran it back. Ben Simmons, Durant, Kyrie, that would have been like a really good team. I mean, Ben Simmons, he's still a great defensive player. He's kind of shy when it comes to shooting. But if they would have all got on the same page, that would have been a team to watch. But maybe Durant knows something we don't know. Being on that team is different from reporting for that team. So Durant saw the writing on the wall. He was like, you know what? I'm going to be turning 34. And he's like, I just want to move on. I just want to move on to a possible championship contender. Now, if he were to join LeBron, and they won a title together, then I think people would still look at him as the slithery snake that needs to go and unite with another superstar to win. A guy that can't do it on his own. If anything, this proved was the fact that Kevin Durant really, honestly, is not an alpha male and he can't really lead a team on his own. He joined up with Steph, got 2 Finals MVPs. But, between the both of them, who is really driving the bus between him and Steph? It's always going to be seen as Steph's team. Now, that's a possible landing spot. He didn't mention it, but I'm sure Kevin Durant wouldn't mind going back to the Warriors after seeing them win. Hell, that might be a big thing that got in the way that made him decide to actually make this decision. You see your former team, a well-oiled machine. You see Andrew Wiggins, of all people, who got the vaccination, who helped lead his team. Well, not lead his team. Steph led the team. But, as far as the defense, yeah, led the defense. Helped that team to get another title. So if I sound like it's sorts and I'm all over the place, it's because there's so many things to talk about here. So many things to bring up. But I'll just leave it at this. Kevin Durant has requested a trade officially from the Nets. He has listed the Suns and the Heat as two possible teams he wants to go to. Now, there's other possible suitors. I mean, there's dark horse suitors, maybe like the Trailblazers. I think he would be a nice fit with Dame. Possibly he could match up with Zion, the Pelicans, possibly. They have all those picks they got from the Lakers. But no, I don't think Kyrie and Durant's going to the Lakers. I mean, what is the Lakers going to offer? And do you really want Westbrook on your team even for a year? So, like I said, the media is going to hype up them going to the Lakers, but don't believe the hype. If I had to make a bet, I would say maybe the Heat. Because it depends. It depends on if the organization really wants to do a solid for Durant. If they do, then I would say he's going to the Heat. I mean, that's a culture there, a winning culture. That would be the perfect fit, I think, for him. But I don't know. Leave it in the comment section down below. Maybe your favorite team might be soon getting the services of a Kevin Durant.